Members, are there any specials? Specials, members, Mr. Price.
President, out of an abundance of caution, I'm recusing myself from item 17 due to my wife's employer's involvement on one of the projects in the past.
All right. Item number 17, Mr. Price recuses. Any other specials?
Mr. Herman, if you are the next speaker, you need to get to the podium immediately so that we can start. So you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the items.
I want to speak on all items. Ramen noodle. So on item number 1, for the public's information, Department of Building and Safety sucks. Right? Am I not right for saying that? Smoking scam? Now you're laughing, right? But it's the truth. All I'm trying to do is protect the interest of the public from this building a safety scam that's been going on way too long, creating a hostile environment towards minorities, blacks, Asians, and anyone involved in losing their house, your rentals, or even anything involving where building and safety comes into the picture. Now, Mr. Soto got away with building and safety because he has the answer. And I want Mr. Soto to explain to anyone here who has a problem with these scumbag building inspectors to explain to the public how you did it, Mr. Soto Martinez, or is there a conflict of interest? You use the power of your authority as a councilman. Then I go into item number 3. Yeah, building and safety report, confirmation of a lien. Well, we know what a lien's all about because Ms. Hernandez solved the problem for us. She's a good woman. Finally, she explained to us that she no longer wants the scumbags with the building and safety inspectors and the scumbags with the goddamn building and safety making up lies to kick you out of your community. So if I'm wrong, shoot me now, because you can't stop me. No one can stop me. You know why? Let me take a minute right here, real quick. Listen, rookie. Listen. Nobody fucks with Batman in this country.
So this is not on the
Can we
agenda.
move to his public comment?
All right. Let's go to number 4. It's on the same subject. Department of Building and Safety sucks. Rent escrow sucks. But more so because building and safety does not do a efficient, substantial pattern and practice to remove you people from your homes because they're niggers. I got 40 seconds left, and I'm going to go to my other item. Excuse me. CD8, Monkey Man Department, LA Housing Department resolution for Los Angeles housing. Well, the criteria is Croatia has a fucked up economy. Stay there. Don't come here looking for housing.
So again, this is not on the agenda.
This is
You've been
about
warned.
housing.
I'm going to move you to
We
general public
niggers
comment.
need
You have 1
housing
minute for
on
general
item
public
number
comment, and please do
31,
not eat
bro.
while you're in the middle of your comment.
Now
Go to
into
general
my
public
non-agenda public comment. I welcome anyone in the public, anyone in the world, anyone in this country, including Kevin DeLeon, who did invite me to his little debate, but I'm cool with that. Because when I was last night in Arcadia talking before the scumbag politicians with their 20% raises for police and firemen, I find that very alarming at a time when the rest of us can't pay our fucking rents. You can't afford to live in a hostile government and a local government scumbags like you are. Now, if anyone fucking cares, come out to the Guinness Museum and watch my Star of Fame be placed before the public. Sit down, attorney. I got the floor. 42 U.S.C. 1983. Fuck you.
Okay, before we move on to the next speaker, for people who are new to this chambers or are listening to this meeting for the first time, we apologize. The things that were mentioned during the previous public speaker's comment do not reflect the views or the values of this council or this city. And so it's just something that we have to deal with. I also would like to just say that we have a limited amount of time for public comment, And while Mr. Herman is allowed to speak, it does take away from other commenters who are here to talk about the substantive items and issues. So, good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
Good morning, honorable team. Julian Alexander Makara of adreamnow.org. Speaking in regards to topic points 33, 21, and general comment, if able.
I'm sorry, I'm going to ask you to hold your, don't start his time yet. I'm going to ask you to repeat in just a second. Mr. Herman, do not, this is your first and only formal warning, do not throw whatever it is you're throwing in this council chambers. I am trying to talk to the public speaker, and it is actually distracting me to the point that it's disrupting my ability to help facilitate public comment.
Mr.
This is your
Herman,
only
consider this
warning.
your first warning. First and only.
I'm sorry, Speaker. Which items would you like to speak to?
No worries and thank you. 33, 21, and general comment, please.
Okay, so you have 2 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the items. Go ahead.
Thank you kindly. In reference point to topic point 33, if we're going to be allocating general funding for services that are, as of this moment, questionable, we are in a transitional stage, and the value program identifies transitions. That is, what is working and what is not. Piggybacking on point 16, where the council member is identifying alternative perspective or alternative measures in which we can advance similar communal aspirations, is very much what we have been proposing through our value department, our emergency department proposal, which is a 3-tier system, one for community engagement, and that's learning. Second, for data gathering via visual. Third, through data gathering via communication grassroots. To the second point, on point 21, I very much appreciate what you team said about the commission of that gentleman. And much to what the council members had said is that there is a lot in this city that unfortunately is being neglected. And it's not because of neglect, it's because it's a big old city and there's only a handful of you. Now, Machiavellian, allocate responsibilities to those who are most worthy, right? If you want to reflect on the Old Testament, think of Solomon, right? Who was able to identify responsibilities and divide those up. I'm soliciting, if you're unable to come to some form of cohesion regarding to my proposal, however, I have the experience having communicated and with LAHD for the Puede Center, creating the MOU contract or agreement for the Los Angeles Promise Zone, and I know the gentleman behind me is being silly.
General public comment?
And also, since day one, allocating public institutions to needed community agencies and families as a family services advocate at St. Anne's, which is in Council District 1. You can still go talk to my employers, and my information is still submitted in Registry 2016 Puede Center, Los Angeles Housing Department. I wrote that contract, and I can review it. As to my general public comment, it's 3 months today that I submitted the spatial designing for architecture and music, the pilot proposal to CD1, 3 months today, 1 month to all 15 council districts, and it's been next month 1 year for the community education attainment site when I began enabling it in Inglewood. I've been using my money since then. I'm going to be evicted now because of your delays. Another one.
I'm sorry, Speaker, your time has expired.
I know. Thank you for your understanding.
Before the next speaker begins, I will call more names. Mia Makova, Stormy Daniels, Mike Hunt, Mia Khalifa, Kendra Sunderland, Jessica Santiago.
My turn. Hi. Good morning, everybody. I would like to speak on 19, 21, and public comment, please.
Just 19. Okay, only 21 is available for public comment right now, so you can have a minute for that and a minute for general public comment.
Okay, thank you. tell me I could go? Okay. I would like, I'm not sure how I feel about Mr. Grant yet. The people prior to me seems to think that he's a really great guy and that he's the next hope for our city public works. And I hope they're right. I sincerely do, because I've been coming to Public Works, and not just me, other people as well, since June with the same concerns that just fall on deaf ears. And maybe hopefully we need new blood and to come in and help. And what we're dealing with that is a closed road, that endless permits that they will not stop, a fire lane that they will not enforce, and non-union labor who are working for $47 a week working on public streets. It's a disaster. And so I am hoping, now if he is for helping and listening to the public and resolving these issues that we've been coming to for month after month, then I'm all for him. But if it's going to be more of the same, no. All right, public comment. I'm here to talk about the same thing I'm talking about for several months now. We want L. Ron Hubbard Way back into the community's possession. Okay, they've been getting permit after permit after permit to shut it down. Not only they have work permits to fix the street, at the same time they're having special events permits. It's been endless. It's been nonstop since June 1st. And all the way now into the end of October. At what point does it stop? At what point, is there a limit? It's just out of control. And then they have to have an open fire lane and they do not. And they have ADA non-compliant planters all over. And I heard, thank you, Mr. Hugo, that you did say that they had to move it. They haven't. They still haven't. They're defying city orders to get it ADA compliant. It's just unbelievable how this is allowed to continue. And we're asking that you please do your jobs, and just all we want them to do is obey the law. That's it, like anyone else has to do. Any other entity has to obey the law, right? Thank you.
Speaker, please remind us of the name you signed up under and which items you'd like to speak to.
Yes, I will. During my general public comment, I want to request a Spanish interpreter. And for my items, I would like to speak on 1, 2, 3, and the general.
You'll have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment.
Okay. City attorney told me they know my languages. Let's try it today. King idea, Kong idea, Yang idea, Bayua, La idea, Moi Piadia, Melo Yodia, Piayo. 也看个的路，且我两个没对齐，很是我的眼神干那狗血。我每个每秒每在干那一条命，朋友啊，要过来边，人一接一接一接的丢，过一百一百一百的干，给你约的两个。 我叫两不好，没给我冲康，是跟一根一根的斗，跟一滴一滴一滴的漏。
One moment, Speaker. We're going to hold your time. Mr. Herman and Mr. Spindler, please refrain from dancing in the aisles of the chamber. You're distracting this meeting, and I believe one of you has already been warned once. Okay, start. Thank you, Speaker. Please continue.
Item number 2. 靈經嗌紅金，傾朝各派嗌紅煙，馬樹兵，馬樹兵，正嗌兵你有丟小心。靈根怒嗌劍，架架馬超到癲，無雲癲，馬謠言，別信別白龍下野心。 這鬼狗能夠贏，390馬嚟到定，大白公個更勁，我是世界第一定，四眼寬細走定，鋪份跨3馬嚟殺勁，義人紅義人贏，我勁我也那好入地。Item number 3. I believe couldn't get yogi만 이대로 이별로 가니 가죠 알게리 나리기 우롱기라 쇼코모리 누라 아버리케죠 무루 지나가 두기야 속아서 내가 나를 아프게 하며 누르는 말은 줘 마마 쿠오기야 기루 그대 말롱 무무오시나 편하게 도나 아키루 Interpreter, please. Señora intérprete, ¿por qué no tradujo mis comentarios correctamente ayer?
Miss Interpreter, how come you did not interpret my comments correctly?
Señora intérprete, necesita tomar una clase de español para poder traducir español correctamente.
Miss Interpreter, you need to take a Spanish lesson so you can interpret Spanish correctly.
Señora intérprete, ayer estuve aquí para apoyar a Kevin Dario y a la policía, pero usted dijo que yo estaba en contra de Kevin Dario y de la policía ayer. ¿Por qué me hizo eso cada vez?
Miss Interpreter, yesterday I was here to support Kevin De Leon and to support the police. But you said yesterday that I was here against Kevin De Leon and against the police. Why did you do that?
Señora intérprete, por favor aprenda español correctamente y por favor tome un examen de español para calificar para ser intérprete de español.
Miss Interpreter, please take a Spanish lesson and please take a Spanish exam to be able to qualify to be a Spanish interpreter.
Señora intérprete, la quiero mucho, mucho, te amo mucho, mucho, pero porque siempre me traduce incorrectamente.
Miss Interpreter, I really like you, I really love you, but why are you always interpreting wrong?
La quiero mucho, 24 pulgadas, Sargento Duarte.
I love her. I love you very much, Miss Interpreter, Mr. Duarte.
Hello, I'm Donald Harlan. I'd like to speak on all available agenda items and general comment.
You'll have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment.
All right, agenda items number 1 through 14. Lien on property for nuisance, violations, code fees, and inspections. No, you're not to be putting liens on properties for those things. They go against the people that committed the crime or the infraction or owes the fees, not the property. Any city employee that tries to bill a property instead of the person that committed a crime has also committed a crime. Okay, agenda item 15, the mayor's appointments.
Speaker, agenda item number 15 is not available for public comment. You can address that in your general public comment if you like.
Okay, agenda item 17.
Agenda items 1 through 14, 21 through 40, and 42 through 43.
Oh, thank you. Okay, REAP properties, agenda items 23 through 32. There's some abuse here in the city by some psychopathic city council workers or some lawyer or some judge or some law enforcement with abuse of rent escrow account program. You see, originally, they were putting any place that somebody got murdered in on REAP and selling the property. And that didn't work because they started just putting people in there and murdering them and then selling the property. Now these houses that are appearing on REAP that are being abused have to do with rapists. So they're gonna sell the houses that the rapists lived in or the rape occurred. Yet we don't want them placing people in houses to get raped or rapists in the houses just so they can sell them. That's the purpose of the legal form of the rent escrow account program, to prevent abuse like that from happening. And you guys have failed terribly. I never seen anything so terrifying and disgusting at the same time. Too bad. Yeah, several fake things I heard mentioned. The commerce, the community, something of economic, sorry. General comment. Okay, the mayor's appointments. There is no mayor's appointments to any of those committees. Many of those committees mentioned are fake. For example, number 15, the mayor's appointments to DWP. You can disregard that, or you can terminate that person's employment for any reason that you find. If there's a problem, people placed here by the mayor or certain committees to commit crimes or fraud the city or rip me off, then you can lock them out or terminate their employment for any reason. Agenda item 16 is the worst one. The LA Homeless Services Authority wants to build homeless housings on the fucking port. The housing authority is trying to illegally build homeless housing in my fucking beach. Crazy fuck you guys up. Anybody they catch building homeless housing?
That's your time, Speaker.
Speaker, your time is up.
Mr.
Calling
Harlan,
the
this
last
is your first
two
warning.
names.
Your time is up. Next speaker,
Bonquisha
please.
Hernandez and Will.
I think that was well
Speaker,
said.
please remind us of the name you signed up under and which items you'd like to speak to.
Yes. Well, what the fuck does it matter? I live here. All items in general public comment.
You'll have 3 minutes for the items and 1
Yes.
minute for general public comment.
Number fucking 40. The ass rape case. Yes. Judge David Carter sticking his 14-inch cock into the ass of the city. Let's give Judge Carter a hand. That's right. Yes, Blob and Blob for years has been trying to cover this up. But now, thanks to people like Jose Huizar and Mitchell Englander, who have cooperation agreements, I hear, $270,000 fucking dollars for the auditing firm. They're gonna audit every goddamn thing dealing with homelessness, all the way from Unisys, all the way over to Kevin, all the way over to Price. They're gonna nail every one of you fuckers. And one day you're gonna be marched out of here in fucking handcuffs. And we're not talking about P. Diddy, people. Not fun. Then we've got number 13. Hugo Stalin wants to beautify CD13. I went over to Harbor Freight Tools yesterday on Taft in Hollywood. It's been beautified. No homeless, no drug needles. There's a barber over there. I tried to buy crack off of him, and I couldn't do it. Let's give Hugo Stalin a hand for cleaning up Hollywood Boulevard. Yes, well done. So now, as you see, we're going to continue with this bullshit. It's a budget. No, I call it bullshit. You call it a budget. So we have this cockroach on number 21, this John Grant the cockroach, who's going to be putting himself on the Board of Public Works. My favorite commissioner used to be Joel Jacinto. That's John Lee's good friend that used to be on the Board of Public Works being replaced here. Well, didn't he resign because he's under investigation? Yes, of course. Everybody in City Hall's under investigation. Holy shit. If you're not under investigation, raise your hand on the council right now. Pan the camera. See, nobody raises their hand. Even Unisys didn't raise their hand. Are you in trouble, Unisys? And this meeting's sponsored by Jacoby & Myers and the Covington Law Firm. When you get indicted, Call them for help. Okay, yes, go ahead. Yes, thank you. And number 22, Lydia Mather to
Item
the
number
South
22 is
Valley
not available
Planning
for public
Commission.
comment. You can address that in your general public comment.
No, stupid asshole. I'm on number 22.
We
Lydia
can move you to general
Mather?
public comment. Let's switch this time to
I
general
think
public
Lydia
comment.
Mather's brain dead. I say no to number 22. Now we'll get to the general. Join us tonight as overt racist cockroach Kevin De Leon battles Isabel Gerardo. Where is it? The Los Angeles Presbyterian Church, 2241 Northeastern Avenue, starting at 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock. Come join Eunices. I hear she'll be hiding somewhere in the background as we have a debate. Why does Kevin call black people monkeys is the first subject. And then later, we'll have a discussion about the N-word and how it's protected speech, sponsored by the DEI hire. Are you going to show up to that? I hope she does. Yes, and we'll have free snacks in the back. We're handing out free crack pipes and liquor in honor of Jose Huizar. So remember, everybody, when you grow up, don't become an indicted council member. Finally, fuck you, Paul Krikorian. I haven't forgot about you.
Yeah, hi. DanielGus.substack.com. All items and general public comment. And don't cut me off like you did yesterday, Ms. Isagari, or you're
You'll
going to
have
get a
3
state
minutes
bar
for the
complaint.
items and 1 minute for general public comment. We can start his clock.
Yeah, fuck you for stealing my minute yesterday. Item regarding Judge Carter. You know what? He's the person who should be honored with a star on the Walk of Fame. Judge Carter, like virtually all of our federal judges in LA, are doing more on any given case than all of you do collectively. He is a hero. He's who you're responsible for. Why don't you acknowledge Judge Carter? Because I'll raise the funds or use it from your slush fund and give him a star on the Walk of Fame. He is the person who is acting in the public's best interest. He, on that agenda item and anything else, is the one who should be celebrated. And if you don't want to give him a star, why don't you bring in Judge Carter or at least invite him in and celebrate him and thank him for acting in our behalf the way you have not and so often don't.
Speaker, you should move on to your next item.
20% of you going to federal prison. Regarding the commissioner, I'm sure that the gentleman who's being appointed here is a fine man. But why do you need commissioners? Why do you need commissioners at all? What happened to employees who do a good job and they keep their job based on merit, based on qualifications? There are so many appointed commissioners who have no qualifications to be in these jobs. So I object in general to the use of commissioners. Why doesn't just the loss of a pension or prosecution for really egregious behavior on the job? So I am a conscientious objector to this commission appointment and all of them, because it means nothing. These are people whose arms are twisted. I can't remember the last commissioner who was really worthy of celebrating. Regarding the parks thing for Paul Krikorian, now may I remind you that you are putting Krikorian's name on public property. He's the guy who has admitted reallocating more than $1 billion from the Parks Department to plug your other budget holes since 2010. $1 billion. And now you're lifting your collective leg to urinate on a couple of pieces of public property. Can't figure that out why, except that you hope in someday that you will have something named for you or your mom, like Herb Wesson's mom, or Tony Cardenas. Really weird stuff. Oh, and by the way, Paul Krikorian illegally hid Cuban, Chinese, and Venezuelan illegal immigrants in parks, buildings that are intended for homeless people in Los Angeles. General public comment. My God, what do we have here? How many of you actually could locate Croatia on a map? I just want to know. You certainly took 30 words to say 5 words of meaning, but I doubt many of you, if any of you, could find Croatia on a map. Regarding Armando Herman eating during his comment, I would refer you to Rob Kwan's Twitter post showing Paul Krikorian meticulously and delicately munching down on his Cool Ranch Doritos while discussing an agenda item. So, 14th Amendment, if it applies to Armando Herman or you or me, it applies to all of us. You have to enforce it equally. Regarding the names, there is absolutely no requirement to sign up to speak. And somebody's going to stand up to you and take up a lot of your time. Again, fuck you, Issa Gary, because the next time you cut me off illegally, you will get a bar complaint and the video will show it.
Well, I'll keep going with the same thing. Monica Rodriguez is the second thing I'm calling you out on. Yesterday was a prime example with all those people calling you out, saying that you represent your interests, not the public's interests. Marquise, if you're going to be the president, don't look up at the clock and say you got 10 minutes. That's 3 people to speak. That's a Brown Act violation when you have 30 people, but your kiosk worker says that there's no one online. Well, how can he be if he keeps queuing out the people he don't want to hear from or you don't want to hear from? That's not fair. That's not the way it's supposed to be. LA Police Commission does 1 virtual, 1 in person. 1 virtual, 1 in person. Maybe go to that format so it'd be fair to the rest of the people that wait 2 hours and then you do 2 hours of presentations. You guys really got to be not managers. You need to be really effective to change the city the way it is when everyone has the right to do whatever they
Speaker,
want.
your time is up.
I didn't expect to win, but I needed to bring all this to light.
We'll speak to all items and general public comments.
You'll have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment.
All right, starting off with item number, let's get past the REAP ones. We should be getting here. Okay, 34. Let's start off with 33. That's homelessness services from Nithya Raman. Hopefully these services are actually getting people housing and services and aren't just a bunch of people sitting in their cars while the LAPD and LA Sanitation goes and sweeps them and throws away all their stuff and forces them down the street while the homelessness services just sit in their cars and log that they were there sitting in their cars all day while LAPD and LA San be cruel to unhoused people. We have item 34. That is naming the Victory Valley Child Care Center and the Valley Plaza Sports Field after Paul Krikorian. Nothing should be named after any politician, much less Paul Krikorian. Paul Krikorian isn't deserving of anything being named after him, except for maybe a term related to enabling racism. Paul Krikorian did nothing has not solved any of the problems he was supposed to solve. Kevin De Leon is still on the council. You know, it is particularly ridiculous you're naming a child care center after Paul Krikorian, after Paul Krikorian created the environment where a cop went and where cops go, helping to create the environment where cops go and harass Jason Reedy and his black baby. So it is just weird. It doesn't even roll off the tongue. Like, I'm going to take my kid to the Council President Paul Krikorian Child Care Center. I'm going to go play at the Council President Paul Krikorian soccer fields. Like, at least remove the words Council President from the name. Just make it Paul Krikorian. We have item 36 that is lining up City Hall for Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month. That was last night, so you're late. You're a day late proving this. So I don't know if there's a late fee that you're going to have to pay since you were supposed to pay it yesterday, but you're late. It was last night, you're late, and you're approving this after it happens. So I don't know. Item 37, you're a week and a half late with this one, September 15th. You were supposed to pay this a week and a half ago in Ulysses. And you're not paying it until now, apparently. So, you know, you're a week late. Actually, I guess it was the 18th at least, but you're still like a week late. So, Why are you lighting it up on September 18th when it was on September 15th? That doesn't make sense. We have item 38, beautification, and CD 13.
Speaker, you have 1 minute for general public comment.
All right, let's go on to general comments. So I see that basically nothing is changing with the way Marquise runs the meetings. When are you going to start to roll back all the changes Paul Krikorian made that made the meetings reduce public participation and public input at the meetings? You know, why don't you let everyone speak on all agenda items? Even if they had a committee hearing, they had a committee hearing, not a city council hearing. The committees have maximum of like 7 or 8 members. That's not the whole council. And that we gave public comment on advancing it through committee. We didn't give public comment on advancing it through the council. And you should have presentations after public comment. And you should, and when are you going to remove that illegal barrier in the middle of the council chamber that makes the chamber less accessible than it used to be? Kevin De Leon, you need to resign. Isabel's going to beat you in the debate tonight.
Speaker, your time is up.
Can we have our last caller, please?
So I find it extremely arch and appalling, and I would ask Mr. Harris Dawson to think twice about these kinds of measures. There is still an emergency, as you recall. You've declared 18 different kinds of emergencies, and yet you do nothing for the people who need your help. So my suggestion would be to, like today, Yvonne Wheeler comes down to give a public comment, is not visible. Why? At County Hall, where Nithya Raman testified yesterday, all the members of the public are visible. Mr. Harris Dawson, including you, when you testified, you could see my City Watch article and see a nice picture of you and Mayor Garcetti sitting in front of the supervisors, visible. So this idea that Herb Wesson, who is a crooked weirdo, insisted on keeping it wide so that you'll never see the face of a speaker, whether they're on point, off point, a multi-award winning journalist, or just a guy from Smoke and Scan who wants to get some action on Figueroa. But nonetheless, what you do is appalling, and you need to be held accountable. You said to me when I said, these rules are crooked, you've got to follow Rule 93 of the City Council rules. You said, I'm not the council president, and pointed at Wesson and shrugged, just like Blumenfield did, just like Curran Price did. Paul Krikorian, to his credit, did not. He said, that's it, Rule 7, Rule 12, I'm a petty pink-faced moron who thinks that people don't notice that we beat you in court on the special meeting rule, which was intentionally devised to block people from speaking at special meetings, and it was cooked up by the city attorney's Doomkoffs. Are we getting close to the general public comment?
Speaker, you've been in your general public comment.
When did it start? Why didn't you tell me? You usually interrupt me. I want to ask Yvonne Wheeler if she felt satisfied by the presentation.
Speaker, your time is up. Speaker, remind us of the name you signed up under and which items you'd like to speak to.
My name is Sky Bray, and then I would like to speak on all items.
Okay, you'll have 2 minutes for the items.
First of all, I just want to point out it is almost impossible there's only one person sign up. Second of all, number 44, I want to talk about point number 6. Point number 6 said no 7. Point number 7 is about existing the affordable housing incentive program, and I'm here to support this because in the past several weeks, several months, I have continued to hear about the complaints about the tenants about they don't want to pay rent when the landowner asking them for rent. They call it harassment. So I think maybe Los Angeles is a woke city. For a woke city, Los Angeles, we need to have a free housing program where everybody should be allowed to live in a luxury apartment, super big mansion, without worrying about the rent, mortgage free for all the illegal immigrants in the city of LA. I think that's the definition of affordable housing. And then now move on to the next item, which is item number 45. It's about continue affordable housing units in the Boyle Heights community plan area. I'm here to support my friend Kevin De Leon. I'm here to support affordable housing. I'm here right now. I'm experiencing a housing crisis because my landowner continue to ask me for rent. My landowner continue to, asking me to pay on time. That's definitely absolutely racist. That's absolutely discrimination. That shouldn't be allowed. So I advocate everybody woke Los Angeles politician. Let's forgive everybody's rent. Nobody pay for rent. Nobody pay for housing. Nobody pay for mortgage. Nobody pay for car payment. Nobody pay for insurance. So in the future, everybody can get a house for free. Everybody get an apartment for free. Everybody get a luxury Rolls-Royce Ferrari for free. That's the definition of affordable housing.
I'm Donald Harlan, speaking on both the agenda items and a general comment, please.
Okay, this is a special meeting, and we will not be having general public comment. General public comment was taken in the regular meeting, so you'll have 2 minutes.
Thank you. Agenda item 44, real estate fraud. There's no such thing as a California state clearinghouse. There's no such thing as a state clearinghouse. I'm ordering the city to sue anybody involved in agenda item 44 or 45. There is no 1939 Homeowners Loan Association. All the documents you submitted for these agenda items are forged. They're all fake. Everything in there is forgery. Everybody involved has to go to prison. There's no such thing as a Boyle Heights community plan. Okay, there's no, you see, somebody from Publishers Clearinghouse
Speaker,
in
you
Florida,
should move on to the next item.
Oh, sorry, on number 45. Somebody from Florida, from Publishers Clearinghouse, is trying to sell property in the state of California, posing as state clearinghouse. Man, if you catch anyone like that, go ahead and just blast those fools. Just go ahead and kill them, because they will never, ever prove that's legal. There isn't a fucking court in the fucking world that's gonna fucking legalize this. Those people in these agenda items are totally out of their fucking minds. I can't believe this crazy shit you guys
Speaker,
keep
your time
putting
is up.
to the city. Look at these, this is terrible.
Speaker, your time is up.
What would you like to speak on? I'd like to speak about Armenia first. Armenia is a very dangerous country. And Paul Martin Kerkorian's family came from there, and he's a defective
Speaker, which items
asshole.
would you like to speak to?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, the Kevin items. Yes, the 2 Kevin items.
You'll have
go
2
ahead.
minutes.
Yes. And I think that's true. What the fuck is a Boyle Heights ordinance? Boyle Heights isn't a city. Boyle Heights is part of Los Angeles. How can Kevin cause it to secede? Yes. But this was the dream of a young Jose Luis Huizar who came to Boyle Heights. And now it has to fall in the hands of Kevin. And Kevin's really doing this for the next council person from CD14, Isabel Gerardo. Let's give her a hand. Wow. Yes. As you know, John Lee, Isabel has already won the election. But Kevin, before he leaves, will prove 44 and 45 to help the new councilwoman along. Because you see, we have developers. Developers are entirely backed with the money and gold of niggers. Sand niggers, in fact, yes. And they come out of Israel, and they come out of North Africa. And then they come in and they build crap. Pieces of shit, fucking crap housing. Like the crap that Unisys is putting up on Hoover and over on 6th Street in Wilshire. That kind of shit. So you could put these $2,000, $4,000, or $5,000 apartments. My God, they're bigger than Jose Huizar's jail cell prison. Yes. And we all know, of course, that this thing is illegal. Demolition permits are illegal. preservation of homes is legal. Fuck all the developers. Fuck Paul Krikorian. Fuck the housing department. And fuck this city council. And the asshole that it came from. I wish your mothers had had abortions.
I got a smoking scan for you.
Speaker, please remind us of the name you signed up under and which agenda items you'd like to speak to.
I signed up as Batman, but I took the mask off because I got my hands up ready to do some duking on 44 and 45 in Boyle Heights.
You'll have 2 minutes.
Fucking niggers are gonna take away my community like this. I gotta put up a fight in the name of Batman to save this motherfucking country from developers and these retarded attorneys that provide them with public interest in stealing from the public. After all, forgery in Boyle Heights is not a crime, then Jose Huizar must suck a cock in jail because he did something definitely wrong.
Speaker, you need to speak to the agenda item.
Yeah, I'm talking about CD14, the former asshole, and I'm not going to say nothing bad about Kevin, but it's too late, so long. You should have stuck up and fight this
Speaker, you need to speak to the agenda item.
Madam, listen. I want to instruct the director and not the goddamn city government on this planning to amend the fucking environment protections because in our community we had Exide and nothing got done, you dumb bitch. Now into 45. 45! The use of district affordable housing laws. There ain't nothing fucking affordable in America anymore except that you have to pay for luxury apartments and motels to convert into what? Prisons. The same fucking prison in CD14 Jose Luis Huizar and Mr. Lee went to Vegas for with Englander and Kanabi. But we're not going to get into appropriate city agencies or officials that are exercising their dick diligence, actively working as niggers towards the adoption and permanent controls what I control. I'm the goddamn government. I am God. I am a goddamn God because I lived in Boyle Heights. Fuck you, 42 SC, and come to 6764 Hollywood to see my star